Welcome to Layer of the Alchemist and season 1, round 3 of Metal Jeopardy. I have assembled 3 die-hard hard rock and heavy metal maniacs, and we are going to test their knowledge of all things heavy. This is just like the Jeopardy TV show, except the questions and the contestants are way cooler. So let me introduce our 3 contestants with us here today. We have CK, we have Doug, and we have Crude. All right, so like I mentioned, this is the guys. Thank you for joining me here at Metal Jeopardy. Glad to have everybody here, and I apologize to everybody out there. It took me a little while between round 2 and round 3. This, that, and another thing, but we're here. We're ready to rock. We're ready to have some fun. So this works just like Jeopardy on TV. We have different categories worth different amounts. The contestants, whoever gets the question correct, they get to pick the next category. We start with, on the first board, we go alphabetical. So CK will be the first contestant to pick on board 1. If the contestant guesses the question wrong, they lose points. If they get it right, they get points depending on how much that question was worth. When we get to board 2, the first person to pick on board 2 is the person with the lowest total from board 1. Then we have a final Jeopardy question. So, okay, are you guys ready?
Ready.
CK, lower your hand for me there.
Oh, you need it low.
Yes,
okay.
lower, yeah. Thank you. All right, so for everybody out there, that's good. This reminded me. Taking the place of the buzzer that you would see on the TV show, the contestants have a raise hand feature. And I have a screen, off screen here, that shows me who raised their hand first. You will see the squares that the participants are in shuffle around on the side, but that doesn't correspond with who raised their hand first. I have a screen off screen here showing me who raised their hand first. Participants are also given the option of passing on a question if they don't know it. If you are the person who picked the question, though, the first person to raise their hand has to guess the question. The people after that can pass. Okay. Are we ready to see the first board?
Yes.
Yep. All right, here we go. Metal Jeopardy, round 3, board 1. We've got out of LA. These are questions related to LA metal bands. Category number 2, random rush questions. Category number 3, famous hard rock and heavy metal producers. Category number 4, deepest purple. These are Deep Purple related questions. And the final category for this board is 1984. These are questions related to events that happened in the hard rock and metal world in 1984. All right, let's see here. So we've got CK, alphabetical order here. You get to pick first.
Okay, I'm gonna go with random rush. Can I just start, like, can I just go lowest to highest?
You can pick anywhere. You can pick any value, any point total that you want.
Well, I guess I'll start with 500 then.
Okay. All right, participants, you have your raise hand feature ready?
Yep.
Okay, here we go. This is the only Rush song that Alex Lifeson has sole lyric writing credit on. CK.
Lessons.
That is correct. And that is off of the 2112 album. So CK gets 500. He's off to a strong start here. Okay, make sure you don't raise your hand too early, guys.
Right. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun on that. I'm sorry.
That's all right. No one else raised their hand, so let that one slide.
You have to wait till you complete the question, right?
Correct. Okay, so CK, you got that one correct. You get to choose.
Random rush 400.
Random rush 400. Okay, everybody got their raise hand feature ready. Here we go. Rush would record 7 of their albums and various music videos at this legendary Quebec recording studio? CK, he's on a roll with the Rush.
Lay Studio.
That's right, Le Studio. They did their, the moving pictures videos they did there. They did Limelight,
Vital Signs.
Vital Signs, and Tom Sawyer there. And that studio just got demolished, I think, rather recently.
Yep, they're going to put up condos.
Yeah, which is a shame. I know people were talking for a little while about trying to maybe make it like a historical thing. So, okay, CK, lower your hand and you get to pick the next category.
I'm going to go Rush for 300.
All right, you're on a roll. This Max Webster lyricist helped co-write the lyrics to Tom Sawyer. CK.
Pi Dubois.
That is correct. You are running away with the Rush questions. All right, lower your hand, please. All right, CK, still your board.
Rush for 200.
The number of studio albums Rush has released. CK.
20 if you count Feedback, 19 if you don't count it.
Okay, I'm going to give that to you because I don't even know what Feedback is. What is Feedback?
It's a covers record.
Oh,
they
okay,
did.
cover album.
Technically,
all right.
they did it in the studio, but it's covers.
Wikipedia said 19, so I went with Wikipedia. I guess they didn't count that as a studio.
I don't count. No one counts it.
All right, CK, you're on a roll here, buddy.
Random Rush 100.
Random Rush. Now hold on a second. Did I add you in 9, 10, 12, 13? I forgot to add in the last one. Okay, Random Rush for 100. Here we go. He played drums on the first self-titled Rush album. Doug.
Who is John Rutsey?
That is correct. That was a close one. Everybody raised their hand real close to each other there.
We got a typo.
Did I spell it wrong?
There's an E in it.
SEY, yeah.
Oops, sorry. All right, Doug, lower your hand, please. CK, lower your hand. And Doug got that one correct, so the board now is Doug's.
We'll try Deepest Purple for 400, please.
Okay. Here we go. Kentucky Woman was originally written by this singer-songwriter. Hang on a second, guys. CK.
Neil Diamond.
That is correct. Yeah, that was a close one. You guys all sort of raised your hand right at the same time. It's a game of seconds. Okay, so CK, you got that one correct. It is your board.
I'll do Deepest Purple for 300.
Okay. All right, here we go. Wasted Sunsets appears on this Deep Purple album. Doug.
What is Perfect Strangers?
That is correct. A beautiful ballad off of Perfect Strangers. Richie Blackmore, he is my favorite guitar player.
Nice.
That song is just great. Okay, so Doug, the board is yours.
Deepest Purple for 500, please.
Okay. This is the last studio album to feature John Lord. Crude.
Bananas.
Close, but I'm sorry. Anybody else want to take a guess at that? Doug.
Yeah. What is Abandon?
That is correct. That was a tough one.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second.
I know I didn't know that either until I researched it, because he left the band you know,
In 2002, I think.
yeah, before
Yeah.
before he passed away. So it was,
Yeah, it was, well, he passed away in 2013, I think, 2012 or 2013.
So who was
Yeah.
playing in the meantime? It was the guy from Ozzy, Don Airey.
yeah, Don Airey.
Well, yeah, and also Rainbow. He was in Rainbow before Ozzy. Anyway.
Yeah, Don Airey was right. He was with Ozzy. He was with Rainbow, and then yeah, he took. And he's still with Deep Purple, right? He's still.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so Doug, you got that correct. So you get to pick.
Let's go to Deepest Purple for 200, please.
Okay. Ian Gillan played the lead role in this famous Andrew Lloyd Webber musical. Doug.
What is Jesus Christ Superstar?
That is correct. That was right. I think he had actually joined Deep Purple. He had just joined Deep Purple, and he did that from what I read correctly. He's apparently on the soundtrack, the musical cast soundtrack. Okay, Doug, it is still your board.
Let's finish out the Deepest Purple for 100, please.
He was the singer of the Mark I version of Deep Purple. Doug.
Who is Rod Evans?
That is correct. Okay, Doug, board is still yours.
Let's try famous producers for 300, please.
Okay. Ronnie James Dio Rainbow albums were all produced by him. CK.
Martin Birch.
That is correct. Board is yours, CK.
I'll do famous producers for 400.
Okay. This duo produced many of AC/DC's early albums. Doug.
Who are Vanda and Young?
That is correct. Harry Vanda and George Young. George Young was Angus and Malcolm's older brother.
They were in a great band called the Easy Beats.
Right, that had a big hit called Friday on My Mind. And they had,
yeah.
And they had Albert Productions, which if you see the early AC/DC albums, you'll see Albert Productions on them. And they had their own studio and everything. So AC/DC recorded all their albums up to and including Power Age at the Albert Studios, and then Highway to Hell when they had a new producer with
Mutt Lange.
Mutt Lange, right? That's when they went on to other studios. Okay, so Doug, you got that correct, right? So it's still your board.
Famous producers for 200, please.
Okay. Twisted Sister Stay Hungry was produced by him. CK.
Tom Werman.
Close. Tom Werman, that is correct. He produced a lot of the.
Hey, look, I have Stay Hungry right there.
There you go.
I saw Twisted Sister in '84, but I didn't remember
that. Who was I talking to? Who the heck was I just talking to about this? They were from New York. Was that you, Doug? That told me that you saw them in the '80s before they were signed.
Oh no, I didn't see them before there. I saw them open for Dio in 1984. No, I didn't see them before they were signed.
Gosh, I can't. Somebody was talking to me about that and told me about how they were from like the Long Island area, and they remember seeing them just like dozens and dozens.
They spent a long time in the clubs until that kind of.
Yeah, and they were very, very big in the clubs. They were like,
They could draw like 3,000 people. And
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you saw the documentary was quite good if you saw that.
Yeah. All right, CK, you got that one correct, right? So it's.
I guess I'll go for. I guess I'll go for famous producers 500.
Okay. All right, everybody ready? He produced Accept's first album with new singer Mark Tornello, "Blood of the Nations." CK.
I hope I don't get this wrong because I'm going to lose points. Andy Sneap?
That is correct. Andy Sneap.
Oh, thank God.
And Andy Sneap is currently, yeah, right. He's like the touring guitar player for Judas Priest now. All right, CK, lower your hand, and it's still your board.
Okay, I'm gonna go for famous producers 100.
Okay. Here we go. He produced Destroyer by Kiss. Crude.
Tom Ezrin.
That
Nice.
is correct, yes. One of my favorite producers, Bob Ezrin. If you want to know what Bob Ezrin brings to an album, listen to Kiss's Destroyer and listen to Alice Cooper's $1 Billion Babies. He produced both of them, and they have a very similar sound. Anytime you hear like horns and whistles and chimes and all that orchestral kind of stuff, that's Bob Ezrin, and you hear it on $1 Billion Babies, and you hear it like all over Destroyer, songs like Great Expectations. And
He's still producing Alice Cooper too.
yeah, he just right. He did his Welcome
We
to My
did Deep
Nightmare.
Purple. He's been doing Deep Purple, actually.
He
Yeah.
also did The Wall and The Elder and Revenge.
Yeah, he's a great producer. He's one of my favorite producers. All right, Crude. Board is
All right,
yours.
let's take 1984 for 100.
Okay. This drummer would lose his left arm in a car accident in 1984. Crude.
Rick Allen.
That's right. All right, you're coming back here, Crude.
Oh yeah.
Your board.
84 for 200.
Okay. Anthrax debut studio album released in 1984. Crude.
Fistful of Metal.
That is correct. Let's do your board, Crude.
384.
This famous heavy metal mockumentary was released in 1984. Crude.
Spinal Tap.
You're on a roll, buddy.
You got it. Finish it. Keep going.
400.
You got it.
Here we go. These founders of epic doom metal were formed in 1984. CK.
I'm guessing on this one, Candlemass.
Yep, that is correct. One of my
Oh, they
favorite
got that
bands.
right.
That was a tough one.
Yeah. that was-
Your first album, Epicus Doomicus Metallicus.
Yeah, I saw your special on that, John. It's great.
Yeah, I'm a huge Candlemass fan. I used to, with a couple other Swedish buddies, we had a fanzine for a while. So I had to get a Candlemass question in somewhere. All right, CK, the board is yours.
I'm gonna go on 1984 for 500.
Okay. All right, here we go. Yngwie Malmsteen would appear on these two albums released in 1984. Crude.
Steeler and Alcatraz.
Close,
No
but I'm
Parole for Rock
sorry.
and Roll. Oh,
Sorry, my friend. Anybody else want to take a guess at that? That was a good guess, though. Anybody else like to take a guess at that? Nope. All right.
Wasn't it
That's-
Alcatraz and Rising Force?
you got to give me more. The name of the band was Alcatraz.
Oh,
No Parole for Rock and Roll.
yeah,
Want to pass or you want to guess?
pass.
Okay. He appeared on Alcatraz's Live Sentence and his
I should
Rising
have guessed
Force.
that. I knew that. I don't know.
His Rising Force album. So good guess though. Good guess. Okay, so who picked that category?
Crew did.
Crude?
Yep.
Okay, so since no one got that one correct, the board is still yours, Crude.
All right, LA for 100.
Okay. This would be the last Motley Crue album to be released in the 80s. Crude.
Dr. Feelgood.
That is correct.
200.
All right, out of LA for 200. The song The Ballad of Jane appeared on this LA Guns album. Crude.
Cocked and Loaded.
That is correct. Careful not to jump the gun. All right, wait till I finish reading the question. You want to go 300, Crude?
You got it, yes.
All right, right down the row here. Okay. This is Slash's real name. Crude.
Saul Hudson.
That is correct.
400.
He played bass on the first Dawkins album. Crude.
Juan Crucier.
That is correct. He would then go
Finish it
on.
up.
He would then go on to play bass with Rat.
Mhm.
Okay, out of LA for 500. This was the name of Ricky Rackman's infamous Sunset Strip Club. Crude.
Cat House.
You are correct. You're tearing it up on the LA stuff. You're back in the race here.
That's right.
All right, lower your hand for me. And that was that board. Okay, so give me 1 second here. I got to write down everybody's scores here. So I'll bring them over to the next board. All right, so we got CK with 3,200, Doug with 1,600, Crude with 1,200. All right, that was board one. Are you guys ready for round three, board two? Everybody
Yes.
catch their breath. All right, here we go. All right, album initialisms. All right, so what this means is that I'm going to give you a band and then the initials for one of their album. So you have to tell me what that album is. I give you the band and I give you the initials for one of their albums. You tell me what those initials stand for, what album they stand for. Those 70s questions, these are questions 70s hard rock and heavy metal. Glam shots. This is, I have a picture of a glam rock or metal artist. You have to tell me who that artist is. Undercover. These are questions related to cover songs. And last category, random rock trivia. All right, so let me bring our scores over. We have CK with 3,200. We have Doug with 1,600. And we have Crude with 1,200. Okay, so Crude, it's still, or no, I'm sorry, for the new board, we go to the person with the lowest score. So it's you, Crude, so it's still your board.
You got it. Album initialisms for 100.
Okay, so again, these are I'll give you the band name and the initials for one of their albums, and you tell me what the name of that album is, okay? AC/DC's LTBR, Crude.
Let There Be Rock.
That is correct.
For 200, same category.
Blue Oyster Cult's FOUO, CK.
Fire of Unknown Origin.
That is correct. Your board, CK.
Oh, album initialisms 300.
All right. Iron Maiden's AMOLAD, CK.
A Matter of Life and Death.
That is correct. From what I call the Return of Bruce albums.
One of the better from that era.
Yeah, actually, right. I did a video
like
on that. That's probably, yeah, that is one of my favorites from that era of the band. I have to tell people that initialisms, that's, it's not an acronym. I had to research this, that initialism is, an acronym is like NASA, you know, when you say it, you can say the word, but when it's like this is what I came up with. This is how I figured it out, but I couldn't figure out how to describe this category. So this is the best that I was able to come up with. All right, Doug, lower your hand, please. So who got the last one right? CK?
Yeah.
All right, so it's still your board.
So album initialisms for 400.
All right, here we go. Judas Priest, DOTF. Doug.
What is Defenders of the Faith?
That is correct. Doug, board is yours.
Let's go with those 70 questions for 300.
Okay. This is the last 70s era UFO album to feature Michael Schenker.
Oh, I went too weird.
CK.
Lights Out.
That is incorrect.
Oh, it's Obsession.
Oh,
Well, I knew that answer.
All right, so we'll give it to Doug. Scout's honor from Doug here.
No, it's an easy, well, for me anyway. You see my shirt.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Yeah. All right, lower your hands, please, guys. All right, so Doug, you got that one correct.
Those 70s questions.
Oh,
are
CK, lower your hand, please. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry, those 70
those
questions?
70s questions for 400.
For 400, okay. All right, here we go. This is how many studio albums Rainbow released in the 70s. Doug.
4.
That is correct. Can you tell us what they are?
Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, Rising, Long Live Rock and Roll, and Down to Earth. And
Correct.
of course, there's the well, you know, there's a lot of them, but that's not okay.
All right,
So
Doug.
those 70s questions for 500, please.
All right. This was the first Jethro Tull studio album to be released in the 70s. Doug.
What is Benefit?
That is correct. Good one. That was a tough one.
Okay. Let's go. Let's keep. I might as well just do that category. Those 70s questions for 200.
Okay. This song was only included on the European edition of the first Black Sabbath album. CK.
Evil Woman?
That is correct. Anybody know who that was? That is a cover song. Does anybody know?
Yeah, it was by Crow. I'm not bragging, but I actually worked with Crow. My liner notes, if for anybody out there, you can read them on the Sunday's Best of Crow album. But I worked with that band. They were actually really excited. Back then with his new band, but it gave them a lot of. It was a hit for Crow, and then they had Ike and Tina Turner covered it instead of Black Sabbath, all in the same year. And then Saxon just covered it last year or this year. I don't know.
Where were Crow from?
Minneapolis. They're still around, actually. They still have like 2 or 3 original members, and they still play.
Yeah, and if you hear if I remember correctly, the Crow version has horns in it.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
They added those against the band's wishes, and they were upset about that because it made it hard. Because one of the guys in Crow, Larry Wiggin, told me was that they were upset because they couldn't duplicate live, and they said their version sounded a lot like Black Sabbath's live. You know.
Yeah, but if you listen to, I think it's one of the deluxe first editions of the Black Sabbath album, they have a version also with horns in it that they didn't use it. They landed up just using the more straightforward version, but. Okay, so CK, you got that one correct, right? So it's your board.
I'm going to go with album initialisms for 500.
Okay. All right. Thin Lizzy's SOABO. Give everybody a moment to think about it. Anybody? Anybody?
Well, thinking. I think.
Doug?
What is Shades of a Blue Orphanage?
That is correct. That is one of the early Thin Lizzy albums before they had 2 guitars and everything. Okay, so Doug, the board is yours.
Let's try Glam Shots for 400, please.
Okay, so this is a picture of a glam, hard rock, or heavy metal artist. So as soon as I open this up, if you know who this is, press raise hand. You don't have to tell me the band. You can just the person's name is fine. If you want to put the name of their band in too, that's fine too. All right, here we go. Crude.
It's Brian Connolly.
That's right. Brian Connolly from The Sweet.
Love that band. Okay, we'll start with Glam Shots for 100.
Okay. All right, guys ready? Doug.
Where's Mark Bolan?
That is correct.
Well, let's go with Glam Shots for 500.
Okay, everybody ready? Ooh, that was close. Doug.
Who is Michael Monroe?
That is incorrect.
Yeah.
Can I answer it?
Yep, you get a shout
All
out.
right, hand me down.
What did it say on your hat?
Faster Pussycat.
Oh, really? I didn't even notice. I didn't even
Got a
notice you
cheat
had a
sheet
fast.
tonight, yeah.
There you go. All right, there you go. All right, so Crude, board is yours. That one was really close. You guys, I heard you guys press the thing and it was like milliseconds there. All right, Doug, lower your hand, please. All right, Crude, board is yours.
All right, glam shots for 300.
Okay, ready? Doug.
Who is Naughty Holder?
That is correct. From Slade. Board is
I
yours,
guess
Doug.
let's finish glam shots. Or no, why don't we go with Ramrod Trivia for 400, please?
Okay. All right, here we go. This would be the last Scorpions studio album to feature Uli Roth. Doug.
What is Taken by Force?
That is correct. You're aboard, Doug?
Let's try Random Rock Trivia for 500.
Okay. This was the B-side to Iron Maiden's Run to the Hills single. Doug.
What is Total Eclipse?
That is correct. It would appear later on.
Yeah, they put it on the album.
Yeah, when they remastered the CDs, they eventually.
Well, they consider it part of the album now, as opposed to a bonus track. Yeah.
Yeah, because they said they were. I know Bruce always says he regrets. They should have put that on the album instead of Gangland. Although I like Gangland.
I love Gangland.
Yeah. Okay, so who got that right? You did, Doug, right?
Yeah.
All right, so still your board.
Random Rock Trivia for 300.
Okay. This famous actor makes an appearance in Rat's Round and Round music video. Crude.
Milton Berle.
That is correct. He was related to.
Robin Crosby.
Yeah. Crude, you're bored.
All right, glam shots for 200.
Okay. Here we go. Crude.
Michael Monroe.
That is correct.
The aforementioned Michael Monroe.
Yeah, somebody mentioned it. Was that you, Doug, that mentioned?
Yeah.
That's why I was trying not to say. I didn't want to say anything. I was like,
I don't know. He looks a lot like that other picture, or whatever. Whatever. I got it wrong. Got to live with it.
all right, so who got that? Crude, right?
Yes.
right.
Random Rock Trivia for 200.
Okay. This Styx album features the hits Blue Collar Man, Long Nights, and Renegade. Crude.
Pieces of 8.
That is correct. All right, make sure you wait till I finish the question, guys. Crude, you're bored still?
Okay, Random Rock Trivia for 100.
This 70s era Pink Floyd double album features one disc of live material and one of studio. CK.
Goma.
That is correct. I was curious how you were going to pronounce it. I always say Umaguma. Some people say Amagama.
I was waiting for that too, yeah.
All right, CK.
Those 70s questions for 100.
Outside of the US, this is the title of the first Uriah Heep album. Doug.
What is Very Humble, Very Heavy?
Okay, I'm going to give it to you. You just reversed it slightly.
I transposed it. Okay, yeah.
Very heavy, very humble. And you didn't say it with a British accent.
Yeah, my British accent's pretty bad.
All right, Doug, you're bored.
Undercover for 300, please.
Okay, so these are cover band related questions. Fear Factory did a version of this Gary Newman song in 1998. Crude.
Cars.
That is correct. You're bored, Crude?
Okay, Undercover for 100.
Metallica covered this Diamond Head song as a B-side to their Creeping Death single. Crude.
Am I Evil?
That is correct. Last minute comeback here. You're bored, Crude.
200.
The original songwriter of the Judas Priest cover Diamonds in Rust. Crude.
Joan Baez.
That is correct. All right, we got 2 points left here.
All right, 400.
AC/DC did their own version of this Chuck Berry song on the Australian released album TNT. Nobody?
Damn.
I can answer Chuck Berry trivia questions.
All right, it is School Days. School Days. The AC/DC released,
but I didn't want to guess it wrong.
2 Australian albums, the Australian High Voltage and the Australian TNT. And the international TNT was mostly songs, pretty much all the songs from TNT, but this cover song was not put on the, the international version. Okay, so nobody got that correct, so it's still Crude's board. So 500. Anthrax covered the song Got the Time, originally written by this artist, Crude.
Joe Jackson.
That is correct. All right, we've got a nail biter here. We got a nail biter. All right, so everybody lower your hands. Let me put our new scores together here. CK's got 3,700. Doug's got 4,600. Crude's got 4,000. All right, we are, ladies and gentlemen, we are at Final Jeopardy. Crude, lower your hand, please. Thank you. All right, everybody's got their pencil and paper. I am going to show you the category. Category is last one out. This is the last song on an album. I'm going to give you the album. You have to tell me the last song on that album. Okay, so now you write down on your piece of paper here, we're using Scout's Honor, how much you want to bet, how well you think you know the last song on a heavy metal or a hard rock album. If you get it incorrect, whatever amount you put down will get subtracted from your total. So be careful if you're a little nervous about this, or you're not a gambler, you want to play it safe. If you are a gambler, you may want to bet the ceiling. And keep it in increments of 100, please. While you guys are thinking of that, I am going to transfer over our totals here. CK.
100 is the minimum, John?
Well, you can do 0 is the minimum. You can bet nothing if you want. Just please do increments of 100. Doug has 4,600. And Crude has 4,000. Okay. Oh, all right. Are you guys ready for the question? Everybody wrote your amounts down?
Yep.
And everybody understands how this works? Whatever amount you wrote down, if you get it right, that gets added to your score. If you get it wrong, it gets subtracted. So you have to write you're going to write your answer down on your piece of paper. You're not going to raise your hand or shout it out or anything, okay? All right, here we go. This is the final song on the US edition of Ozzy Osbourne's Bark at the Moon album. You don't have to raise your hand, CK. Just write your answer down on the piece of paper, and then don't shout it out. When everybody's ready, everybody will hold up their piece of paper with their answer on it. This is the final song on the US edition of Ozzy Osbourne's Bark at the Moon album. I need to drop in some music here. I keep forgetting to do that. I'm going to try to remember to do that on this one. Drop some music in during this. All right, everybody ready?
Yes.
Doug, you ready?
I'm going to pass.
Okay. CK, you ready?
Do I say how much I'm willing to bet that I have the right song?
Correct. Show us how much did you bet and what did you put down?
I show you?
Yes. You might have to tell us because I can't quite see it.
500.
Okay.
And the song is Waiting for Darkness.
That is correct. So CK gets 500. So that takes you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, Doug, did you bet anything on this? Unfortunately, you can't pass on this round. You can bet zero.
Well, yeah. So I put 300, so I guess I'm going to lose.
All right, so you didn't put anything, you didn't have a guess, so we subtract 300 from Doug. Crude, what did you bet and what was your answer?
All right, I bet a whopping 0 because I didn't know, so I just said so tired.
Okay, close. I had to say the US edition because the international release of it ended with the song Spiders, but the US edition ended with Waiting for Darkness. So there you go. Okay, so our final totals here. CK 4,200, Doug 4,300, Crude 4,000. So Doug, you're the winner. You're the winner of
match. You guys are pretty impressed with everybody's knowledge.
This was a close one. This was a close one. I mean, we were all within, you guys were all within a couple hundred of each other. So great job, everybody. Doug, you are the champion here for season 1, round 3. So, all right, there you go, everybody. Thank you, contestants. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you coming on here. This is always a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Everybody out there, I hope you had fun playing along, answering the questions, and we will see you at round 4. And until we see you at round 4, you know how it goes. Stay heavy, stay metal.